Hello. What are we going to talk about today? I'm just messing with you. I know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about fixing things, electronic things. This was like a super cheap little ukulele, and I painted it for my daughter, but I can't get it to stay in tune. I don't know if there's anything can be done with it. If it can be made normal, I tune it and it goes right back. Tighten these. I've tried that. Here, I'll try again. Maybe I'll just get her a nice one. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about is a really cool way to fix electronic things that is so easy you wouldn't believe it. And the way I discovered this, I had this Sony. It was a radio and a CD player, which I still have, and it still works. I got it in 2006, 2009. I don't know when I got it. But one day I had it on, I think I was playing a CD, and it went for a while, and then it just stopped. And what's going on? And I turned it on again, it's playing for a while. It's like there's some kind of automatic power shutdown thing saying, oh no, this is dangerous, I'm shutting down too much current. So I don't know what it was. But I was too lazy to open it up. I used to work part-time fixing radios and stuff at this place called the Stereo Exchange on Western Avenue in Chicago. It was a really cool place, and sometimes I'd fix stuff I couldn't figure out what the root cause was. I'd take it apart and I didn't find anything wrong. I'd put it back together and it worked. And that was always amazing when that happened. Well, with this Sony thing that I had here at home, because I was so lazy, I didn't want to put it on the bench in the basement and open it up and start troubleshooting it. I decided to I thought about it, go, well, it sounds like something's shorted out in there. What would short it out? I mean, I had the thing on the ground. I didn't have it up on a shelf. I had it on the floor. I thought maybe a spider crawled in there, shorted something out, got zapped himself or herself, and was shorting out some components in there. And if I just turn the thing upside down and let it sit for a while, maybe the spider or whatever it was I imagined was in there would fall off. So I did. I turned the thing over and then left it and forgot about it for, I don't know, a week or more. And then one day I noticed, oh, that thing upside down on the floor. Let's see. I turned it back over, turned it on, and it was fine. It didn't shut down anymore. It played entire CDs, radio, everything was fine. And it lasted about, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and then the problem happened again. So what I do, I turned it over again for about a week, and then it worked again. It's like, wow. And then I have another Sony, more of a boom box, which I bought for one of my sons when he was little. And the CD player in that had been broken for years. The cassette player worked, cassette radio, but the CD player, it just stopped working. Years and years, and then, but after I fixed this other Sony thing by turning it upside down, I decided I would give that boombox a try. So I turned that upside down, left it for, I don't remember how long, weeks, a month. It wasn't something I, played with a lot, or turned on a lot. And then when I remembered it, I go, oh, that thing, that's upside down. I turned it over, put in the CD, and it worked. Just from turning it upside down and leaving it for a while. That was amazing. Okay, so then I went from strength to strength, I had a printer, an HP printer that stopped working. And that, I think I broke it myself. I'd set something heavy on it, on the top, which I shouldn't have. And it's this, it's a lid that goes over the kind of printer, and sensitive. So I ruined the printer. And then I thought, well, you know what? Rather than throw it out, take it somewhere to get it fixed, I'm going to try my little trick. So I turned it upside down, left it for a week or so, I don't know how long, turned it back over, and it worked. That was years ago. I still use that printer. It still works. So why would turning something over fix it? Well, in the case of the printer, I thought, well, I put some weight on top I shouldn't have, maybe pushed something out of whack, and by turning it back over, gravity did its work and pulled the top the other way, and maybe corrected that condition that was caused by me putting weight on top. So I turned it over, gravity's pulling it back down, maybe it righted itself. But on the Sony, on the two CD players, what I'm thinking now that it was it might have been due to tin whiskers. And I had never heard of tin whiskers till I worked on this Orion space program, which is the Orion program. They're building a manned space capsule. It's going to take people to Mars, supposedly in the 2030s. Well, I don't know how long this video is going to survive beyond the past that. I hope it's successful. Anyhow, I learned about tin whiskers, and what tin whiskers are these crystalline little whiskers, for want of a better word, that grow out of solder. Now, nowadays, and it's been this way for probably decades now, lead is a no-no, and they don't want lead in consumer electronics, so all these radios and things that stereos and TVs nowadays, what people buy, the solder cannot have lead. That's by law. Well, problem is lead impedes the growth of tin whiskers. When you don't have lead in solder, these little whiskers can grow. They're crystalline, and last time I read about them, no one really knew what causes them. They were theorizing that it's stresses of some kind. Anyhow, without lead in the solder, these little crystals are growing. They're like little tiny wires, and they'll grow and grow and grow until they reach another conductive surface and short things out. So what I'm thinking of is that first Sony CD player that I fixed just by turning it over, perhaps there were tin whiskers in there. And by flipping the thing over, gravity did its work again and pulled the tin whiskers down. Now, maybe it would have happened the instant I flipped it over. I didn't flip it over and flip it right back over and then turn it on and try it. Who knows? Maybe if I had shook it or tapped on it, if tin whiskers are really the root cause. Whatever it was, I think it may have been tin whiskers, and that they fell out, and I turned it over and it worked. With the other CD player, the boombox, why that would have fixed a CD player, because the first Sony, the CD player radio, it would power up and then power down right away. That seemed to me due to a short somewhere, something was drawing too much current and it shut itself down. With the CD player not working, I thought that was a mechanical thing. So when I turned that over and left it for weeks, maybe again it was another case of maybe gravity was pulling things back into the right alignment, that when it was normally played the right setup over years, gravity worked against it and pulled things out of alignment. I don't know, but I flipped it over and it worked. Same thing with the printer. I think that was gravity. Were tin whiskers involved? I don't know, but at any rate, flipping things over and leaving it seems to work. I have a Fostex 4-track recorder. My nephew was visiting. He's a musician, and he thought that was so retro and so cool that I gave it to him, but when he got it home, he said it didn't work. So they gave it back to me. I just set it upside down for months. I just ignored it and then flipped it over, and it works. Now, when he first gave it back to me, I don't remember exactly what I did. Did I try and power it on right away and do anything? I think I just immediately just I was too busy or something to check it out, so I just put it on the floor somewhere upside down. Anyway, so that's not as clear cut that the flipping it over fixed it, but he said it didn't work. I flipped it over, now it works. So anyway, I told my sister, my nephew's mom, about this trick. And so she, at her house, they had a stereo receiver that was no longer working. I don't know how old it was, but I'm assuming it was a nice one, because they tend to be serious about their musical equipment. They're musicians and audiophiles and that sort of thing. Anyway, they were going to throw this receiver out, and my sister said, "Hey, try Charlie's trick." And so, okay, what do we got to lose? They, instead of throwing it out, they turned it over and they left it for a week or so. And my sister contacted me and she said it worked. She said, "The stereo receiver works now. All he did is flip it over." So I just thought I'd share that with everybody out there. Before you throw some electronics out, if it's something you like that you wish it did work, and you're not real handy with electronics or soldering iron, or you just want to save time and give this a try, turn it over, leave it a week or so, and then turn it back over, see if it works. If this is true of many devices out there, thousands, millions, just think of the stuff that goes into landfills that people say, I don't want to fix it, I don't want to pay to get it repaired, I'm just going to throw it out. All that stuff piling up in landfills. Some of it's poisonous, the electronic components. If there's beryllium in anything, I don't know, supposedly you can die just from touching it. That's using electronics in some parts. Yeah, just don't trash it, just flip it and turn it over and see, and you might be amazed that if it works. So I thought I'd share that. Again, to reiterate, I believe it's tin whiskers in many cases, because they don't have lead and solder. And how I learned about tin whiskers when I was on the space program, I failed to mention, was that because of tin whiskers in space technology, things that are going to fly in space, especially things that are going to be carrying humans, they don't want tin whiskers causing short circuits in a space capsule that's hurtling through space, and there's no pit stop, no place to pull over and fix things. So they have to have lead in the solder. That's a requirement, for the express purpose of inhibiting the growth of tin whiskers. They also do something called conformal coating of electronics parts, also prevents the growth of tin whiskers and short circuits. So there you have it. I hope you give it a try. If you have some old electronics that's not working, turn it over, forget it for a while, a week or so, and then see. I did have one thing that I tried to fix this way, and it did not fix it. And I didn't really quite do it properly. I have this, it's a TV, DVD, CD player, radio that goes under fits under a kitchen cabinet. It's a really cool device. We got it years ago at Circuit City when they were still in business. And it was by Polaroid, of all people, made this thing. And it's really cool. TV still works, but the CD player is always kind of in the stuck mode. You press a button, you hear it whirring around and stuff. So I disconnected this thing from under the shelf and I turned it over for a while. But what I did not do, I did not make sure that the drawer of the CD was all the way inserted. It was, because I'd been messing with it, it was kind of came out a little bit, it was sticking it partially out. And then I disconnected the whole thing and I turned it upside down. So I turned it upside down with the drawer kind of sticking partly out. And I don't think, if gravity would have fixed it like it did the other CD player, bring it back into alignment, is my theory is. And just like gravity worked on the printer, turning it upside down brought things back to alignment. By having the drawer out, I didn't allow it to come back into its designed alignment. The gravity might have been pulling it, but it still wasn't all the way in. So I will have to try that one again, but get the CD drawer all the way in and then try it again. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. So give it a try, and I hope it works for you. And if it does work, spread the word. We can reduce landfills and